stock market analysis for Wednesday, December 14th, 2022. Before we get too far into this, I want to let you know that if you're relatively new to investing, trading, whatever, I suggest you go to ihavesuccess.com, and at minimum you download this cash secured put stock selection guide, and I would suggest this one, at minimum this one. Between the two of these, you will learn a framework. This is not these are not recommendations for stocks, anything like that, but it is a way to develop a thought process in choosing stocks that would be good for you to potentially own via selling cash secured put options on. In a few moments, I'm going to show you where I'll link to that. But in my opinion, selling cash secured put options on stocks that you don't mind owning or maybe want to own the rest of your life, I think that is the easiest way to enter into the stock market. Now there are some there's a little more to it than just buy or sell. Nonetheless, you're in a more protected position. And in my opinion, for me personally, when I'm selling cash secured put options on stocks that I don't mind owning, I feel that it's very, very difficult for me to lose money. The big caveat is I gotta do a good job at picking stocks. So that's why I recommend going over here, at least getting this, and learning that strategy, ideally in a paper trading account before you do anything, before you put real money at risk and get comfortable with it. Now today we had Jerome Powell talk at the FOMC meeting, and if you're not aware of this, the stock market is not the same. The drivers of the stock market are not the same as the drivers of the stock market back in like the 1970s or the 1980s. Probably what you learned in high school about, like, well, if a company's expanding, if they make money, they sell a good product, yeah, that stuff has a little bit of play into it, but what has more play into it is what Jerome Powell says at a meeting. I'm not kidding. You see the result. Stock market down today. Why? Was it anything about how much money companies were making? Nope. It was only about what this guy Jerome Powell was saying, the words that came out of his mouth in relationship to what rates are they going to keep these treasuries at. And it has a lot to do with how easy is it for people to get money, and which a lot of that money will flow into the stock market to buy stocks. So I'm not saying don't invest in the stock market. I do it myself. I actually invest in the stock market. What I am saying is know the difference between when the stock market is going up on fundamentals and when the stock market is going up on financial engineering, we could say. So now whether they're doing it on purpose, whether they have some agendas, all these things, I don't know. They don't let me to their private parties, right? If they did, I wouldn't be making this video. I'd just be sitting back in a room with Jerome Powell, probably laughing at everybody, or maybe crying. I don't know what they're doing. And quite frankly, I kind of don't care, because whether they're laughing at me or whether they're crying because whatever they're crying about, I'm going to continue to sell cash secured put options on stocks that I would like to own the rest of my life, and some of them that I just wouldn't mind owning. I'm going to do that no matter what Biden does, no matter what Trump does, no matter what Kanye West does, no matter what any of these celebrity, in my opinion, dorks are doing. Now, you might like these dorks, and you might not think they're dorks, and that's okay. I think they're dorks, and that's okay. But regardless of what these dweebs are doing, I'm going to keep selling cash secured put options, and that's what I recommend that you do. And right here at 4 minutes and 31 seconds, there is a link to a playlist popping up that you go through that. It's going to explain this concept of doing the wheel strategy, and it'll give you different videos on it, which is basically selling cash secured put options. And when you take assignment of a stock, then you go to selling covered call options until you get assigned, and you keep spinning the wheel of fortune over and over. And if you don't really understand that, no problem. At that 4 minutes and like 31 seconds or whatever it was, go back when this video is done, watch that entire playlist. I think there's 4 videos on it. And make sure you go to ihavesuccess.com, download this so you have an idea of how to better protect yourself by selecting a good stock, and then get a paper trading account, practice it a little bit, and think about starting to fill up your asset column with some paper assets, with stocks that pay you some dividends. They're probably going to be around the rest of your life. So no matter what the big thinker celebrities, no matter what the actors, the actresses, the musicians, the artists, all those other dorks that society gives a bunch of credence to, politicians. When I was a kid, there was a saying, how do you know when a politician's lying? Their lips are moving. So to me, it's pretty silly to put my financial well-being in the hands of anyone that works in an industry that had such a bad reputation that they say anytime that their lips are moving, they're lying. So I don't put my financial well-being in the hands of people that could very well be lying often. So I don't take advice from these people. I don't listen to these people's opinions and take them seriously. To me, these people they're just NPCs. And the player characters, like, I'm the player character. I want to buy assets. I want to cash flow the stock market. So watch that, consider doing that, and consider for your own well-being, disconnect from that, connect into how to do this stuff. If you're playing some sort of video games and stuff, consider putting that to the side and start learning the stock market. Play this, even paper trade, right? Paper trade, it's simulated. That's probably a better game to be playing, so you learn how to make some real money than playing like World of Warcraft, where someone say, well, Brett, if I sell my sword, I could make some money. Okay, well, maybe you could, but that's not as much of a guarantee as making money right here in the stock market. Another thing I want to point your attention to, and is you may be familiar with this concept, the difference between context and content. Okay, context is the cereal bowl. Context is the cereal and the milk inside the bowl, right? How much content can go in is determined by the context. So one thing if you want to really become a savvy investor, savvy trader, you want to be financially savvy, one thing that you need to get the context of is understanding this, which is a representation of the dollar. This, your dollar, in your bank, in your pocket, wherever you keep it, under your mattress, in a hole in the yard, or in PayPal, wherever you keep those dollars. The only value that they actually have for you is the ability to pay taxes and the ability to trade for goods and services. That's it. Now, to compare and contrast, if you were to exchange your dollar, or today, if you were to exchange $46.13 for 1 share of Harley Davidson, regardless if this number goes up and down, right? When this number goes up and down, when this number goes up, you basically need less dollars to buy 1 share of hog. When this number goes down, you need more dollars to buy 1 share of hog. And that's pretty much it. The only thing you're going to be able to do with these dollars is pay your taxes and buy goods and services. Now, if you have some of this flow over here, regardless if this number goes up and down, you still have fractional ownership of a company that is basically making around, after expenses, making anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million after expenses. So 2021, a little bit after everything was said and done, making a little bit under $1 million. 2020, a little over $1 million. Right? So anywhere from, for the last X amount of years here, anywhere from about $500,000 to $1 million. What they're also doing for is every year they're paying you money. They're giving you a paycheck every year. Every year right now. Now this amount can change. It could go up. In fact, let me show you. There's a lot of room for this to go up. Under here, payout ratio. They're only paying shareholders a little under 13%. They could probably bump that up to 20%, 25% if they wanted to. So here's my point. Contextually, you can save this. What value does this give you? You can pay taxes with it, and you can use it to trade for goods and services. And when it's sitting there, wherever you keep it at, it's just the potential to do that. But that's all you can do with it. Pay taxes, trade for goods and services. With this, what can you do with it? What can you do with a business? Is Harley Davidson, do you think that that's a fad company? You think that's like the spinner widgets? You think that this is going out of the demand for Harleys is going to go down? I personally think that Harley Davidson, the demand for Harley Davidson motorcycles, I'm 46. I think by the time I die, let's say if I die at 120, I think Harley Davidson's still going to be around. And I think 100 years, as long as humans are still around, 100 years past the time I die, I think people are still going to want Harley Davidsons. One reason why I think that, if you were to come here to Hawaii and we were to walk through local malls, we can look at somebody and we can just look at them and tell by the way that they're dressed if there's somebody that potentially has a Harley Davidson lifestyle. This is past just getting to work. This is past getting to point A to point B. This is a lifestyle for a lot of people. And so my point is not to buy Harley Davidson stock. That's not what I'm saying. It's not financial advice. It's not a recommendation. What I'm saying is that Harley Davidson as a company, Coca-Cola as a company, maybe ExxonMobil as a company. You know, there's these different companies out there that they have the ability to do more than just have this number go up and down. This one, the number goes up and down, and what happens? It takes less dollars to buy your goods and services, or it takes more dollars to buy your goods and services, and you can pay taxes. Now, when you buy a income producing asset like fractional ownership of a company, you can get a dividend. So it's putting more, you put some money over here, and now that's flowing money back over to here. And it goes up and down, and it changes your net worth, and you can potentially sell call options against it and increase your cash flow. But contextually, right, what value is there of having a bunch of this saved up? There's only two things you can do with it. Pay taxes, buy goods and services. Now, paying taxes is not going to flow more money back in here. What goods you buy could potentially buy more. And I'm not saying don't save money. In fact, if you were to download this and read this, number 3 of these is talking about you want to really transform your financial results. Have a year's worth of living expenses saved up. You know, you will transform your financial results. Is it easy to do? No. Are most people going to do it? No. But the few that will change their financial results. So contextually, that's what I want to the point that I wanted to make is you know, the stock market is not connected to the real economy anymore. It might reconnect sometime in the future, but at the moment, the words that comes out of whoever is on the Federal Reserves, whatever words that come out of their pie hole has a lot more influence of which way your stock's moving at the moment than the fundamentals of a company. Now, maybe over the next 50 years, the fundamentals of a company will have a lot to do with it. So learn how to look at fundamentals, learn how to look at this stuff, and know that when the value of your dollar is going down, sometimes what's happening is it's not the value of an asset going up or down. It's the strength of the currency you're trading for it. You know, an ounce of gold is an ounce of gold. no matter how many dollars you need to pay for it. The gold, just because it takes less dollars to buy the gold, doesn't mean it conducts electricity any less. Doesn't mean you can't use it as a tooth filling. Well, I was able to fill 2 of my teeth before, but I'm only able to fill 1 of my teeth now because the quote unquote value went down. No, it's the value of this currency went up. So barrel of oil, if a barrel of oil is at $70, does that mean you can't drive your car as far? No, that means this went up. Now, if this falls down and this goes up, does that mean it's greedy corporate people? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's the people that are running this, right? Maybe they're messed up. Maybe they're doing something. Maybe they're there to look at. If this value keeps dropping, that's going to push. That means you're going to need more of these to buy a barrel of this. And sometimes it's people that make policies that control this. No matter what side of the aisle they sit on, right? Left or right, people have been making policies for the last 50 years, both of them. And we're in this situation. So contextually, look at a bigger picture. Realize that sometimes what happens is that it's not the value of an asset that's actually changing. It's the amount of currency you need to purchase that asset. Now, sometimes the value of an asset can change. What if Harley Davidson goes from being profitable to not profitable? So you got to be able to tell these nuances. This whole kind of like things are black and white, good and bad type of stuff. That's great. That's great if you want to be an idiot. You want to be a moron. You know, you can be a happy moron. You can be a good moron. I have friends that I would consider are intellectually morons. They're moronic. They're not very smart. They're still good people. I'm friends with them, but I know I cannot have a good intellectual conversation with them. I know they cannot comprehend this stuff, and I know they make crappy financial decisions because they don't understand this stuff. So, you know, this today's stock market today is a little less about exactly what's happening in the stock market and more, since we're on that FOMC meeting and Jerome Powell opening his pie hole and getting things to move. It's about attempting to lead you to some water. I'm pretending you're a horse. I'm attempting to lead you to some water, but it's up to you to drink. Got to be able to take this and process it and start kind of figuring it out. Like, okay, so I need dollars to buy stuff, right? If the value of my dollar is going down, then what happens to the price? I need more dollars. It takes more dollars for me to buy something when the value of the dollar is going down. It takes less dollars for me to buy something when the value goes up. Does that mean the value of one of these changed? And sometimes maybe I should consider who's setting policies for the value of this. And to be totally honest with you, if you were to really, really study this, you'd see that people that are in office now, you know, they make decisions and stuff, but a lot of the stuff, it goes back to maybe even as far back as 1933. So nobody that's in office right now is alive in 1933 that I know of, and 1971. But that's something that maybe you want to get into, maybe not. That this channel is not really about that. This channel is about helping you to begin your trading journey. That's like that's step one. That's what I'm here for. Help you begin your trading journey. I'm probably not going to be a one-stop shop. If I'm going to be a one-stop shop for you, you're basically going to be selling cash secured put options on stocks you don't mind owning. Telling you what, that's not a bad position to be in. It's way better than having 100% of your money sitting under your mattress, in PayPal, in the bank, wherever you have it sit. To help you begin your trading journey by learning how to sell cash secured put options and to more advanced strategies. But this is the bread and butter right here. In my opinion, this is the way of trading and investing that gives you the lowest probability of losing money, right? It's still always a chance you're going to be able to lose money, but the lowest probability. Now the trade-off is you're limiting your gains, right? You're exchanging profit for security. And hey, for how many people out there are still wearing face masks and you know, that type of stuff. You know, if you tell me, no, I want high risk, and I see you wearing a face mask, you better really double think your philosophy. and either take the mask off or just start selling cash secured put options. And here's another part: in a way that allows myself to improve and grow in the process. So we're doing a hand-in-hand thing here. I am being benefited by helping you. I'm growing and improving in the process. If I'm not growing and improving in the process, I'm not going to do it. And by the way, that's me. And so I benefit by helping you. And I hope that you will benefit from me helping you. So download any of this stuff fairly soon, sometime, probably the first quarter, first 3 months of next year. I'm going to be coming out with a product. It's not going to be that high in price, probably about $7 a month. Maybe in the future it will go up. If you're on this, if you download any of this stuff, I will be sending you information on that. And basically 6 days a week I send you something. And for people that I'm interacting with 6 days a week like that, you will have the chance to get that at a greatly reduced price and be locked in for as long as I'm alive and doing it. You'll be locked in at a low price. Maybe instead of $7 a month, it maybe like $4 or $5 a month, and eventually, it'll be at 25, 50 or whatever. We'll see. I want to keep raising the value, but I'm just beginning in this journey. So I'm beginning in this journey. You're probably beginning in your stock journey. We're gonna have a fun time together. If you don't want to have fun, then this is not the place for you, because you know what? I'm a quote unquote fun guy. You guys have a fantastic day with that last joke.